Thessaloniki, Greece, a city bathed in sunshine, steeped in history. In the bustling heart of this ancient metropolis, a park offered a tranquil escape. The Park of National Resistance, a green lung in the urban sprawl. But beneath the surface, a chilling secret lay buried for decades. City workers, tasked with improving the park, started digging. Their shovels struck something hard, something unyielding. Not a rock, but bone. A human skull emerged from the earth, its empty sockets staring into the present, a silent testament to a violent past. The discovery sent shockwaves through Thessaloniki. This was no ordinary graveyard. It was a mass grave hidden beneath the feet of children playing, families picnicking, lovers strolling. A place of recreation unknowingly built upon a foundation of suffering. As the excavation continued, more skeletons emerged from the earth. Dozens of bodies hastily buried, their bones whispering tales of brutality and terror. Thessaloniki's hidden past was being dragged into the light, forcing the city to confront a painful chapter it had tried to forget. Word spread like wildfire. The park, once a haven of peace, transformed into a scene of grim fascination. Crowds gathered, drawn by a mixture of curiosity and dread. Archaeologists, forensic experts, and historians descended upon the site, their faces etched with a somber determination to uncover the truth. Each swing of the pickaxe, each scrape of the trowel, revealed more about the grave's macabre contents. The skeletons were not neatly arranged, but jumbled, tossed into shallow pits. Many skulls bore bullet holes, grim evidence of executions. Personal effects unearthed alongside the bones hinted at the lives brutally cut short. A woman's shoe, worn but still elegant, conjured images of a life interrupted. A tarnished ring, perhaps a token of love or a family heirloom, spoke of a bond severed too soon. The presence of these everyday objects, poignant reminders of the individuals lost, made the tragedy all the more real, all the more heart-wrenching. Looming over the mass grave stood the Yedikule fortress, its 7 towers casting long shadows across the site. This ancient citadel, once a symbol of Thessaloniki's enduring strength, had borne witness to centuries of triumphs and tragedies. But during the tumultuous years of the Greek Civil War, the Yedikule took on a sinister role. Its once impenetrable walls became a prison, its chambers echoing with the cries of the imprisoned and tortured. Within the fortress's confines, political prisoners, branded as enemies of the state, were subjected to unimaginable cruelty. Men and women, guilty of nothing more than their beliefs, were interrogated, beaten, and left to rot in cramped cells. The Yedikule, once a proud guardian of Thessaloniki, had become a place of despair, a symbol of oppression. The discovery of the mass grave so close to the fortress walls confirmed what many had long suspected. The Yedikule was not just a prison, but also a place of execution. The ground beneath the park held the remains of those who had dared to oppose the regime, their voices silenced forever. The Greek Civil War, a brutal conflict that tore the nation apart from 1946 to 1949, was a time of unimaginable hardship and division. In the aftermath of World War II, as the rest of Europe began to rebuild, Greece was plunged into a bitter struggle for its future. On one side stood the government forces, backed by the West, determined to crush the communist insurgency. On the other, the Democratic Army of Greece, composed of communists and leftist guerrillas, fought for a socialist revolution. The war was not fought on distant battlefields, but in villages and towns, tearing families and communities apart. Brother turned against brother, neighbor against neighbor, as the country descended into a spiral of violence and retribution. Atrocities were committed by both sides, leaving a legacy of pain and resentment that continues to cast a shadow over Greece today. The discovery of the mass grave in Thessaloniki serves as a stark reminder of the human cost of this conflict, a conflict that claimed the lives of tens of thousands and left deep scars on the nation's psyche. As archaeologists carefully excavated the site, meticulously documenting each bone fragment and personal item, a clearer picture of the victims began to emerge. They were not soldiers killed in battle, but civilians, men and women of all ages, their lives brutally cut short. The presence of so many bodies, hastily buried in unmarked graves, spoke of systematic executions, of a ruthless attempt to silence dissent. Forensic analysis revealed that many of the victims had been shot at close range, execution style. Some bore signs of torture, their bones broken, their limbs twisted at unnatural angles. The discovery of children's remains among the dead sent a chill down the spines of even the most hardened investigators. These were not casualties of war, but victims of a campaign of terror, a deliberate attempt to eliminate anyone suspected of opposition to the regime. News of the mass grave spread rapidly, reaching the ears of families who had long harbored suspicions about the fate of loved ones who had disappeared during the war. For decades, they had lived with the pain of not knowing, their questions unanswered, their grief unresolved. Now, with each passing day, as more skeletons were unearthed, hope flickered amidst the sorrow. Could this be the final resting place of their missing fathers, brothers, sisters, children? Families flocked to the site, clutching faded photographs and clutching at fragile memories. They provided DNA samples, their hearts pounding with a mixture of anticipation and dread as they awaited the results. For some, the wait would bring confirmation of their worst fears, the agonizing certainty of loss. For others, the search would continue, the mystery of their loved one's fate enduring. The discovery of the mass grave in Thessaloniki has forced Greece to confront its troubled past, a past that many would prefer to forget. The Greek Civil War, a period of intense political and social upheaval, left deep wounds that have yet to fully heal. For decades, the conflict was shrouded in silence, a taboo subject that was rarely discussed, as if by ignoring it, the pain would somehow disappear. But the ghosts of history have a way of resurfacing, demanding to be heard. The mass grave in Thessaloniki is a stark reminder that the past cannot be buried or forgotten. It is a call for truth, for justice, and for reconciliation. The discovery of the mass grave has ignited a fierce debate in Greece about how to deal with the legacy of the civil war. Some argue that it is time for a full accounting of the atrocities committed during the conflict, for the perpetrators to be held accountable, and for the victims to receive justice. They believe that only by confronting the past can Greece move forward as a united nation. Others, however, fear that reopening old wounds will only serve to divide the country further. They argue that it is time to move on, to focus on the present and the future, and to let the past rest. The government's response to the discovery has been cautious. While acknowledging the need to investigate the site and identify the victims, officials have been reluctant to engage in a wider discussion about the civil war and its legacy. The mass grave in Thessaloniki stands as a powerful symbol of the enduring legacy of conflict. It reminds us that even in the heart of a modern city, the echoes of past violence can linger, waiting to be unearthed. The discovery compels us to remember the victims, to acknowledge their suffering, and to honor their memory. But remembrance is not enough. We must also strive for reconciliation, for a future where such horrors are never repeated. This requires a willingness to engage with the past, to acknowledge the wrongs committed, and to seek forgiveness. The road to healing is long and arduous, but it is a journey that we must undertake if we are to build a more just and compassionate world. The mass grave in Thessaloniki, a place of sorrow and loss, can also serve as a beacon of hope, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, the human spirit can endure, and that the pursuit of truth and justice must never cease.